and we are trying some new stuff. Let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me, and we're going to see what happens. So this is a pumpkin that I have done with books, and I didn't use any leaves today. I used ribbon for my foliage. So if you can hear me, let me know. It looks like to me I have a good signal, and it looks like to me I have sound. So let me know if you can hear me, and we'll go from here. So this is my pumpkin with a book, and I have a cute little stem and everything, and I'm going to show you how we're going to make them. All right. I don't or not. Let's see. Do I have sound? According to this, I do. Hey, Krista, can you hear me? Yay! Good. Finally worked. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. First of all, like I told you, you're going to need a book, and we are going to do something that I don't ever do. We're going to cut up a book. And I am going live a few minutes earlier than I planned because we've got a little storm that seems like it may be trying to blow in. So this is our book pumpkin, and you can see how cute it is. Now, mine is still a little wet, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to set that one aside. Now, the book really depends on you, because you can go and grab them at the bookstore, at the thrift store, and you can get little fat ones like this. I got me a new devotion while I was looking at books. You can get books like this. See, this one's a little thinner, and that's the kind of book that my other pumpkin is made from. It's made from a little thin book like this. All right, and then you can also get the ones that are a little bit thicker. So tonight what we're going to do is, I've already got one made from this, so I'm going to show you this one just because it's easier. Actually, let's use the little fat one. I probably hurt its feelings saying that. So you can see how thick this book is. And what you want is, it can be you can use either a paperback or a hardback, okay? Either way you want to do it. I like to use hardbacks because they have a little bit better spine. But what you're going to do is you're going to lay it down. And I don't know if y'all have a rotary cutter like I do, but it really makes a big difference. Lay it down on something that can be cut on, and cut right along where don't spine. All you're wanting to do is get it to release, okay? So if you take that rotary cutter and go right down through there, some of them release really, really easily and some don't, but you just want to make sure that you're not getting rid of that spine. And this one, of course, is going to act up because I'm live. The other one did perfectly. Now, always have you a good pair of paper cutting scissors. I don't know if y'all have paper cutting scissors at your house, but we do at my house. And if you use it for something else, whoo, you are in such trouble. So what we're going to do is, we just want to make sure that spine is intact, because the spine is what is going to help us do what we need to do. All right. So now when you get all the way down in here, you can see there is our spine. Can y'all see that? All right, so now we're going to open it the other way, and we're going to use our rotary cutter again. And you're just going to pull that off of there. All right, now there's our cover, and there's our spineless book. All right, so that is so not nice, Krista. All right, so what you're going to do is, you want to make sure and trim any of this up. You don't want all this extra stuff on here. Just get that trimmed off. Make sure and use good scissors. All right, so now we've got a book that we can make. Now, before I get started making my pumpkin, I like to make sure, I always take off like the first couple of pages, because usually there's a name or something written on there, and I don't want any of that to show up in my pumpkin. So that's why I like to do this. All right, so now we've got this done. What you're going to do is, you're going to take a marker and you're going to draw out the shape of a pumpkin. Now, again, you can use your rotary cutter if you want to cut this out, but I'm going to assume that not everybody has a rotary cutter, so I am going to use scissors to do it. Now, keep in mind, when you're doing the bottom, it's got to have something to sit on, so don't make it too narrow at the bottom or your pumpkin won't sit level. It's better if you start cutting about right here, okay? So you want it to do that, and then you can cut more into the top that you want, but do the bottom first. And what I like to do is, usually I just fly by the seat of my pants. If you follow me, you know that's kind of how I do it. So I usually take, can you see how I've already done that side? All right. So then I'm going to take those same pages and I'm going to cut at the top. And you want it to have that kind of pumpkin feel, if you, whatever that is. All right, so now I've got my top and my bottom. Then what I do is I take pages, I hold them up, and don't do it so much that it dulls your scissors. So just try to keep it at the same level, and just, it is going to take you a few minutes, but this is such a cute thing. It's really worth it. And I told you, we're going to paint it with Dixie Belle paint, but we're going to do it with a spray bottle. You know me, I like to spray them, but this time we're going to do it with a spray bottle. And what you want to do is just keep cutting about the same number of pages, and it's going to take you a minute. So y'all tell me what you're working on, because I am showing you what I'm working on. And now I've been working on cabinets and stuff today, taking care of my cute little dog that is not feeling well. So been doing that. Ooh, too many pages. And it's just kind of a labor of love. It's going to take you a hot minute, like I said. But you want to just keep cutting so that you have that pumpkin feel. Now, go ahead and get your hot glue gun warmed up, because we're going to need it. We're not going to need it for very much, just a little bit. But also, if you have a stapler, get your stapler out and go ahead and walk out in the woods. I went out and got me some little sticks, because you need something for the stem. And then you're just going to keep cutting. And while we're cutting, you guys can tell me what exciting things you're doing this weekend. Y'all want to guess what I'm doing? I'm going to be working on cabinets. Oh, I've got a new project. I cannot wait to show y'all. Not going to unveil it tonight, but we may unveil it tomorrow. It is something that I've only done once or twice, and I've never taken any video footage of me doing it. But we are going to video it this time, so y'all will get to see it. Like I say, now it's very important that you have good. Don't you love my shirt? Isn't he cute? My little Ridley Ann is not feeling 150%. She's been kind of sick all week, and she's my old girl. So I have to be close by in case she needs me. So I'm working on cabinets at the studio and staying close. Hey, Estelle. Rohini, are you on here? If you are, I am going to call you tomorrow. I am so sorry. I got so involved with Ridley Ann this week, I forgot to call you back. I know I'm going to be fired for not returning calls, and I'm sorry. Hey, Riri. I can't wait till I get to come over there and see y'all. All right, we're going to go a little bit more. And you want to keep it as even as you can. Now, if you have it too thick, and there's a couple of places that I've had it pretty thick, you just want to be very careful with it. Watch those fingers, because when you are cutting big, wide pieces, it's very easy to get your fingers involved in it. You want to make sure and keep those way, way, way out of the way, because this one is going to be one of those cute little full pumpkins. We're about halfway through. I promise you, the rest of it goes so much faster. But this part, we just have to take our time and get it done. Now, if you're like me, make sure and try to keep the mess to a minimum, because this can get a little messy, because all of these little shards of paper go everywhere every time I cut. If you're watching for the first time, I really appreciate it. If you're watching this in replay, please thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. I have not done very many simulcasts. Oh, I want to see pictures, Tanya. Oh, Valerie, I want to see pictures. All right. I know this is tedious, and normally I don't do this kind of thing, but I want y'all to see how cute this is. And it's just one of those things that it's kind of like in your piece of furniture. If you don't take the time, it'll be funky later. And you guys know how I feel about prep. And this one is going to be so cute. Ooh, too many pages. And your scissors will tell you if you get too many pages, let me assure you. All right. Ooh, I got a big old pile of mess here. All right. So is everybody else having a good weekend so far? And as you get deeper in, you may want to push your pages over so that you're just holding a few at a time. Because if you try to hold too many, it will get very tedious very quickly. Look at that. I've already painted my computer today. I know y'all can't believe that, right? Yep, I sure did. They're just going everywhere. There we go. I think the rain just got here. I hear it. Is it raining at your house? And y'all, if y'all are in California, my prayers are with you. I have had friends show me pictures, and that is just unbelievable what y'all are having to deal with. That is just scary stuff out there. 2020 just keeps on giving, doesn't it? I know this is tedious, and I'm sorry, but it is so worth it. Just a little bit more. We're 2/3 of the way through our book. And I know there are those of you that are watching and you're thinking, oh my goodness, why is she cutting up that book? I normally don't cut up books, but these are not my books. I bought these books at the Goodwill to cut up. I don't ever cut up anything religious. A lot of times I cut up things that are political because you know what? My thought process is I'm not going to sway you to my opinion because I'm not even going to try, and you're definitely not going to sway me to your opinion, so I don't need to read any political books. So they make great fodder for crafts. Because y'all know me and dogs. If you don't, you can see my little shirt. Is he not the cutest thing? I would just smooch him and smooch him. I got to see some cute little dogs today at a job. They were very barky. They were so precious. The little female wasn't so barky. She was an older girl. I think her mother said that she is almost 15 years old. She was so super cute. All right, just a little bit more, and we're going to be ready to paint and glue and be creative. If you're cutting up books, what kind of books do you want to cook up? Yes, you can use an X-Acto knife, but I'm going to tell you, either way you do it, it is a tedious process because you have to be careful because you want it to be as close to the same as possible. I used my rotary cutter on the last one, and it definitely makes it go faster, but a lot of people may not have an X-Acto knife, or you can use a, I call it a box cutter, whatever you want to call it, but most everybody has scissors, so that's why I'm using scissors tonight. I want to try to use things that I think everybody would have. That way, I want you to be able to make these things with whatever you have on hand. I don't want you to have to go out and buy something because that's just crazy. Because all of us probably have books that we haven't read in umpteen years, and you could cut those up. I got rid of most of our books that we had not read, and I didn't want to cut up the ones that I had left. So I got a few, and I think these were all half price, so I think I paid 50 cents or $1 for them. So I don't mind cutting them up. You found me on the Dixie Belle page. Oh my goodness. I hope that's not where I am. I think I'm on 44 Marketplace right now. Wouldn't surprise me if I went on there by accident. All right, look at this. We are cutting our last pages, finally. Took forever. All right, so you can see this is my pumpkin. All right, so now I've got a big mess to clean up, but this is my pumpkin. All right, so now once I've got my pumpkin, I like to take a minute and you want to kind of spread out your pages a little bit. Don't push so hard that you break the spine. You just want to spread it out so that when we get it ready to sit up, that it sits up well. Because what we're going to do is we're going to glue and staple the back to the front. There's a receipt. We're going to glue all of this and staple it so that the back to front, it'll sit up well. We're going to add our little stem. So what you're going to do is you're just going to swing through here and just, don't count the pages. I mean, you OCD people may want to count the pages, but that's totally not me. I just flip a few pages and press, flip a few pages and press, because you want to make sure that your book, especially this one had probably not been read but a couple of times, and you want to make sure that your book has good balance to it. These are things that I've learned from making these in the past. You can do this afterwards, but afterwards we're going to have paint on it and everything else, and it's just a lot easier to do now before it's put together and before you get your paint on it and everything. And like I say, all you want to do is flip some pages, run your finger down the spine, flip some pages, run your finger down the spine. We're just trying to give it legs is what this amounts to, because this is such a great little craft to do that I wanted to share it with y'all, because I told y'all we're going to be doing some fun things. All right. Okay, so now we've got this done. What we're going to do is, to make your pumpkin, you've got to pull this around so you're going back to front. Okay, now I removed the first couple of pages on the back and the front, but what I'm going to do is I am going to staple this together so that, and can you see up here, this is where our stem goes. So when you put this up here, this is where your stem goes. Can y'all see the way that fits? So what I like to do is get my glue gun, and it's already hot, and I'm going to put glue where the spine comes together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue because we want it to hold. Well, it's going to act up because it's on camera too, and it just wants to be a horse's hiney. I'm going to put it down here so I can press and get enough glue. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right, now we're going to take our little stem and we're going to lay it right there in the glue, and we're going to pull this around, okay, back to front. We're going to pull this around, and I like to make sure that it's going to stay. So the first thing I do is, while that glue is still hot, I go ahead and add me a couple of staples. And you just want to get them as far in as you can, because they're going to help hold that glue in place for your stem to stay. So now can you see we've got a stem? All right. Okay, so there we go. Now what I like to do before I get started with the painting process and all that, now you want to get your pages kind of more even. Can y'all see how this is coming together? And I like for mine, you can see I like for mine to have a little bit. If you don't want the little squared off edge, you can cut all that off, but I think it's super cute like that. You can make it as rounded as you want, just a lot more cutting. All right, so now we've got all of this, and you just want to kind of spread your pages out a little. And like I say, we've already done a big part of that, but if it's not the way you want it, now is the time to do it, because in just a minute, we're going to start painting. All right, so everybody sees. Hey, Chris, I just saw you. All right, so now everybody can see what we've got. We've got our pumpkin. Look how cute that is. Now, this is where our binding goes together. So after we get it a little bit damp, we're going to move those pages around a little. Once you get some paint on there, it's much easier to move those pages around. I think we're going to put one more staple in there just to give it a little oomph. There we go. All right, so now you can see how our pumpkin is shaping up. Woo, hot. All right, so now you can see what we're going to do is I have a spray bottle, and this spray bottle has about 1 ounce of terracotta and 2 ounces of water in it, okay? And that's what's in the bottom of here. And make sure and kind of shake it up a little. Now, this can be messy, so make sure you're doing this in an area that your husband's not going to catch you. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you're doing it in an area that you don't mind if there's a little bit of overspray. And we're just going to spray. See? We're giving our pumpkin its little orange, okay? I don't know if it's showing up that well, but we're going to do it, and then I'm trying to keep it from splashing on the computer. All right, now I'm going to spin this back around so y'all can see. Can you see how it's getting orange? Now you can put as much or as little on here as you would like. And when it comes to gluing your pieces together or stapling your pieces together, you can put as much of or as little as you like on that as well, because it is totally up to you as to how much you want on there. And this isn't like controlling my sprayer at the studio. This is a hot mess. Okay, so can y'all see how pretty and orange that is? Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, what we're going to do is, now that it's got a little bit of dampness to it, we're going to move these pages around a little bit over here near the binding, because that's the only place that you're going to notice very much of a gap. And our glue has kind of cooled off a little. And I'll tell you a little secret. If you'll take a couple of pages and add a dot or two of glue and put them together over here, then you'll notice that you can have a little bit more room with your legs, so to speak. All right, so now you can see how great that's looking. And then this is when you can spread your pages apart a little more. You can add a little bit more orange. Like I say, we are spray painting with our little sprayer, and it is a great thing to get it done. So now we've got our pumpkin, and now you get to decorate it. You can use anything that you want for leaves. I have this little mossy stuff that is really great to make stems and curlicues with. It actually has wire in it, but it looks very much like moss. I love to use this kind of thing. On the other one, I use the ribbon for the leaves. You can use whatever you want, but it makes such a great craft. And who doesn't have, who doesn't have books laying around? It's super easy to do. And like we said, you can use an X-Acto knife. You can use scissors, which everybody has laying around. I don't get paid for it, but scissors are the best paper cut scissors around. But all you need is go to Dollar Tree and grab you a little bottle, and it's super easy to do. And then just decorate to your heart's content. And they don't have to be orange. I wanted this one to be terracotta, but you could make them blue. You could make them green. You can make them any color you want. And it makes such a great little thing sitting around. What else have y'all made pumpkins from? I know when we were setting up at Hodgepodge the other day in Monroe, Georgia, they had some cute, cute things. Somebody had taken a spinny torrent from the top of a house and made a pumpkin out of it. Got to do some of those. Also, bundt cake pans. Oh my gee. I looked all over for some bundt cake. I can't even talk. Some bundt cake pans. Have you all seen those as pumpkins? Totally the bomb diggity. Totally the bomb diggity. So I hope that, yes, you could cut some leaves out of the page. You could paint them green, and that would be beautiful. So many things that you could do that I wanted to come to you and show you, because I love book pumpkins. Just one of those things that I don't see that many people do. I've still got my little pumpkins out here that I showed you last night. I love those. And we've still got our wood for our fall letters that I've got done. But like I say, I stuck around close by for my little Ridley Ann today because she's a little cutie. And so I just wanted to come on here and show you pumpkins. And then you decorate them any way you want. I want to see pictures. Y'all be sure and post them a great idea, making Christmas trees, Diane. I haven't thought of that. Y'all let me know. Tag 44 Marketplace when you make whatever you make out of books, because this is one of those things that's super, super cute to make. And if you use the little chubby books, you know, I'm chubby, so I'm partial to chubby books, that makes them much, much bigger. But like I say, I like hardcover books the best because if you look, they've got a better spine. See how, can you see that gap in there? They've got a better spine sometimes than the paperback books do. That's right, Janet. I will, Chris. I will get really a big squeeze. But you can see I got a few of the books today, and that's how I made my first pumpkin. But skinny books don't make cute pumpkins. Chubby books make cuter pumpkins. Don't you agree? Well, I really appreciate y'all spending a few minutes with me tonight. I'm going to get back in here with that little Ridley hand. And y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.